Okay, so you're going to TFX this weekend.
Yes, sir.
What's your taper looking like? Are you gonna start? Have you already started, or will you start like on, I guess tomorrow? Did you do a
Dude,
full day today?
not really, honestly. It's fun. I was laughing because Mike texted me and he's like, "Did you look at tomorrow and Wednesday's programming?" And I hadn't looked yet. And I looked, and it just wasn't much of a taper, really.
Oh, really? Like look like full days?
Yeah, I mean, not full days, but not the taper that we're used to, at least. I mean, you look at it, like, first glance, you're like, what? That's a ton of volume. And then it's not a ton of volume, really, but, like, quite a few touches on everything still.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that, yeah, it's still, like, he still has us, like, touching some heavy snatches Wednesday, even, but not that many reps, just getting ready for Isabel. I should ask him. My thought process is that just kind of we still have NorCal, too. So
Yeah.
it's like we are tapering in a sense, but also just the way this season's been, where we had semis just over the week ago, like we kind of just have to stay in game mode for a while and
Yeah.
not like really taper hard. But yeah, to sum it up, it's still, I mean, kind of start tomorrow. Like today was a pretty hard training day still.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday and Thursday, still some hard touches, just not quite as many on stuff.
Yeah. Do you prefer like hard tapers, or do you prefer kind of just like staying in it?
I would prefer to lean on the side of staying in it more. I don't like to taper too much. I don't want to feel like completely flaccid and loose going into comp day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather have just a little bit of soreness, not soreness, but just
Yeah.
like some muscle tension.
Well, I
Not
also
just
feel like for me, if I don't do, or if I do a big taper, it's like the first workout will just mess me up so bad for the weekend.
yeah,
Like if you don't do as much of a taper, it's like that first workout kind of, I mean, you'll feel it, but it's not going to be like the same amount of soreness if you had like 2 or 3 days off before.
yeah. And a big one for me is like breathing. I really want to keep my lungs breathing, even the
Yeah.
day before, like even just like
Yeah.
hard, whether it's intervals or even just this really steady like zone 2, 3. I'd like to just keep my lungs opened up, get a sweat, just feel good. I
So
think
do you
that's
compete
standard. I
Friday,
think
Saturday,
most
Sunday?
people. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. Usually just like aerobic stuff the last 2 days before, usually.
Well, I mean Thursday is a travel day, so I don't think I'll do anything Thursday. Just
You won't even do something like when you get in.
it's usually just out of convenience. I don't
Yeah.
because I mean I could like run, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to feel like I can run. I'd love to probably
Yeah.
just like spin on a bike. But
Yeah.
it's like out of convenience. I'm not like trying to track a gym down or you know what I mean. So I usually don't just try to stretch and move because it's a travel day.
Hmm.
So yeah, but I like to just sweat if I can as much as I can like prior to. He usually has us do hard intervals like of just 10-second bursts, minute off for
Oof.
20 rounds or something
Wow.
like that.
Okay. That's cool. So what do you think of the workouts? Do you want to go over them?
We can, yeah. I mean, whatever you want to do.
All right, let's go over them. I haven't really like looked at them hard yet.
I think I'm just
So,
kind of biased to hearing like popular opinion a little bit. I just heard like Hiller's opinion out the gate, and I kind of just couldn't help but agree. So
what did he say?
before we look into them, I feel like this is kind of the overall message. What he said, they just over programmed almost in a sense. Like they're just like people's eyes get so big, and like them first time like programming for or like a competition that's punching tickets to the games. It was like they just like felt like they had to just put any and everything in there. Just try to they just kind of overdid it. Is what I thought.
Yeah. Like too
Over
much volume, or like
quite a bit of
too much
volume
stuff?
and just kind of getting like real cute with the way they write workouts.
Yeah. Okay, so this one's 100 wall ball, 50 total bar, 50 cal row, 50 box step up, and then basically just half it, right?
Yeah.
So then 50, 25. Um, what do you think of that? I see that as 20-inch for both men and women. I like that, actually. I think the 24 is too high for men.
I'm personally very happy about that because I'm not tall. I don't have tall hips. And yeah,
Yeah.
discrepancy wise, yeah, girls and guys, it's completely different. I mean, obviously we're not competing against each other, but I think I like the 20 for sure. That's one thing I do like about this workout. Glancing at it, it's just so. I hate when workouts are just so messy like this. It's not. It makes sense when you look at it, but also it looks like they just like. This is like the last workout they wrote. I feel like, even though it's the first
and they're
one,
just
they're just
like
like,
tossing
these are the
everything in.
things. These are the things we haven't done. They just like threw them at the board, and let's just do a shit ton of reps with them.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. Like this is the last workout they had, and then they ended up putting it first, and it's just like, all right, let's just do. We still need to do these type of movements, and here it is.
Like, I like when I can look at a workout and, like, know what the point of the workout is. Like, know why they're doing it. Like, I look at this and I'm like, I'm not sure, like, what their goal is with this workout, like, what they're wanting to test.
I think it's just, yeah. I mean, it's obviously that's the longest workout of the weekend. So they're testing that definitely like aerobic time domain, but it's gonna
But
come
none
along.
of, like, bucks, 50 box step overs in the middle is, like, it's not going to be that aerobic.
Right. That's what I say. It's actually gonna be way more like muscular endurance. It's gonna be a grip test.
Yeah.
Grip test out the butt.
Yeah.
So breaking it down, because I already done it all right. So it's 150 wall balls and 75 step overs. So that's tons of legs. So just keep that in mind. So that is a big part of the workout. And then very grippy, right? You got toes to bar and step overs, ton of grip.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep that in mind as we go forward. Is a lot of.
Have you already done all these workouts?
No, I actually, the only one I've done is, I've done one of them, the sandbag one that we've come up to, and Isabel. Other than that, I've only done like variations of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
What did you get in Isabel on the semifinals?
What did I hit?
Yeah.
438 or 439.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it was 17
What was
on that one.
Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, you ready for the second one?
Yep.
Okay.
I think it's Isabel.
So that one's 21 minutes, and I would say it's like kind of like a chipper.
Yeah.
Isabel.
Whatever.
That's I mean, we've seen that.
Talk about.
Oh, I had the question for you on this first one. Would you have preferred if they wrote it as 100-50, 50-25, 50-25, 50-25?
Like at the top, like all the numbers.
Yeah.
100 50 50, and then I think it would have been.
Or does
hard.
it not look right if there's only 2 rounds? Because like you do 21-15-9, like that looks right. But I feel like with 2, it maybe doesn't look quite right. But they could have wrote that, and I think it would look a little bit more simple.
Yeah, maybe. Because I had a hard time looking at it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. 2 rounds.
5-minute cap, 6 legless, 12 shoulder to overhead, 3 legless, 6 shoulder to overhead. Rest 3, 4 rounds. 7-minute cap, 3 rope climbs, 20, 15, 10, 5 thruster at 115. These are 2 scores, I'm assuming.
I hope it's 50 points, 50 points. Not 100, 100. Because it's testing very similar things.
Yeah, basically the same thing.
You should never do a back-to-back 100-point scored workout when it's testing similar things. So, part 1, 5-minute cap is insanely aggressive. I did
Unless
test
they're, I mean, but they're probably going to do like what, maybe like the 14-foot ropes, right?
Yeah, which will be nice if that is the case. But I tested this one and I got capped on part 1.
Where were you?
It was a 2 out of the 3 legless rope climbs.
Does 12? I don't know if this is the point, but is 6 legless equal to 12 shoulder overhead at 205?
Dude, I think the shoulder
6 legless feels like way more.
The shoulder overhead is irrelevant in this workout.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant.
Okay.
Dude, 6 back to back. Yeah, 6 legless rope climbs in a row is so hard.
What if the legless was 225?
The shoulder overhead?
I mean, the shoulder overhead, yeah.
It'd make more sense, but they would just need to extend the cap. Because, everybody's picking that up. And if you have to break the shoulder overhead, then you're in trouble. Unless you're just a beast on the rope climbs, you can do 6 in a minute.
Oh, I don't think anybody's breaking that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Right?
You shouldn't. But dude, yeah, this workout's tough. Like 5-minute cap, so aggressive, doing 6 straight, 12 shoulder head, then doing another 3, then 6. So I got caps testing, which sucks.
Did you do on the black rope or the?
No, I did on one of our newer ones, which is still not completely broken in. But yeah, dude, it's tough, man. It's a lot of legless. My grip goes out, and then rest 3 minutes. Pretty aggressive here too. You're doing 12 rope climbs, regular, 4 rounds.
Yeah.
This is a 7-minute cap. It's aggressive too. I barely finished this part and under the cap. A lot of thrusters.
So again, like looking at this, I feel like you could have just done like 9 legless for time, and it'd be like the same outcome.
My question is why? I just don't even know why it's a 2-parter. Why not just make one workout like a gated style workout that has legless and regular, and you do something with, you can do the gated portion starting out, shoulder overhead, and then moving to thruster. Like, I just don't understand the point of like throwing in the rest and then doing.
Well, what if this is the same score?
Like,
what if this is all 50, like one single event?
Yeah, 50-50.
Then does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, it's fine. I just don't know why. It just seems like unnecessary to do it. I mean, it's fine, I guess, if it's 50-50. I hope it is. I don't know. Don't you think that'd be dumb if they did 100-100? Like, this test is not that different.
I think they're pretty different.
How? I mean, it's going to be grip, fatigue, upper body pulling, and obviously the thruster is.
I think this one's going to be so like gas. Like, I don't think your grip. I mean, I don't know, but I think your grip is not going to be your limiter here.
It'll be more metabolic fatigue. It'll be grippy though.
Yeah, for sure. But I think it'll be more metabolic than the first one. I think the first one's kind of like I said, I don't even know why the shoulder overhead are there unless they were like 225 or 235.
Right.
That's the only thing I would probably change is make that like 225 or 35. Other than that, I think that'd be good as well. I'd have to see the rest of it to know if it would be okay to have 2 100 point, but it does feel a little like redundant to have that as 2 100 points.
Yeah, I just think that someone who does really well in part 1, they're going to bank way more rest. And like if they do good in part 1, chances are they're going to do good in part 2.
Yeah.
Because the thruster's not heavy enough for it to matter, I don't think.
Is everyone doing this unbroken?
Not necessarily. When I tested it, I did 20 and 15 into 2 sets.
Okay, yeah.
But I think the best people definitely are. I think you actually might need to hang on to it and then just like, you got to just try to recover on the climbs and maybe go a little slower. Mm-hmm. Just the demanding of picking the bar back up. But I don't know, 115 is not easy for 20.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like, it's not just like a walk in the park. But
so how many events is there total?
6. So let's go overall view again. So remember I said 150 wall balls on the first workout and 75 step overs. Then we did Isabel, so you're going to be squat snatching a handful. Most people are. And now you're doing 50 thrusters here. So squatting back-to-back-to-back events, 3 events in a row. And then your grip, think of how shot your grip's going to be here from all those toes to bar and box step overs.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and you can go to the next workout if you're ready.
All right, 2 on, 1 off for 7 sets. 40 fat rope singles, 7 burpee box get overs, max cal echo in the remaining time.
I was a little skeptical of this workout, but then I actually tested it and I thought it was pretty fun.
What is the fat rope? Is it going to be
it's
like one of those,
like how you climb a rope, those type of ropes?
Dude, that's actually sick.
Yeah. So at first I was like, dude, why are they trying to be so like, just I was annoyed, but then I was able to get my hands on the rope and tested it. And I thought it was pretty cool. I thought 7 sets was very aggressive, but then after I did it, I was like, I like it that it's 7 sets because it's going to force people who like can pace and are actually fit to win. Like there's not going to be any Like, I think this is a good fitness test because
You can't like full send the bike and like bank points in the first 1 or 2.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I think you got to have some pacing. You're gonna blow up.
How long does 40 fat rope singles take?
Not very long, which is I wasn't sure. It was taking under 30 seconds.
And then so you're probably getting on the bike with a minute.
I was getting on the bike just under a minute each time, like 55 seconds. So
how do you feel about?
How many calories do you think I was getting? I was actually getting on like 52 seconds. How many calories do you think I was getting? 7 sets.
Average like 18.
It's pretty close. Yeah, 17.
Hmm.
But I forgot. I mean, I basically did it. I did 4 rounds of this, rested 3 minutes, and then did another 4 rounds.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, 17 was what. So I think game day, hopefully up around 20, I think I could average and then crank it on the last one.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about like, especially for a competition where you're like, I feel like it'd be fine, especially in a like online competition. But if you're like programming, I would never program like a max cal echo at the end of a workout for like spectator.
Yeah.
For like a competition where I'm doing spectators, it just feels kind of like anticlimactic.
Yeah, I wonder how if they'll do anything placard wise. I doubt. I mean, it's pretty hard. I doubt it. Yeah, you're not.
I like the fat rope singles. What I would have liked to see, and this might sound dumb, but is the fat rope like if they were going to do the fat rope singles, it would have been sick to see it mixed with the legless.
Yeah, just a longer test here with more. Yeah, I mean they might as well.
I just would have liked the like rope, like a big rope, and then like having to do legless. That would have been kind of sick.
Yeah, they might as well have just done 9 legless for time. Honestly,
that's what I think in this one. Like I don't understand what the point of a 205 shoulder overhead is.
Yeah, I mean don't get me wrong. I would hate to do just 9 legless for time, but that's pretty much what it is.
Do you think anyone is going to get exposed on the 205 shoulder overhead?
Maybe, but that's people that don't matter. Those people are going to be the bottom of the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
like nobody that's going to be fighting for a game spot is going to get exposed by a 205 shoulder overhead.
No. Dude, that's just repping it out. Dude, you can jerk that so easy for 12 reps.
Like I'm nowhere near like even semifinals, and like 12 shoulder overhead at 205 seems kind of like a little bit irrelevant in this workout.
Dude, what they should have done is made the first part 12 and 6 thrusters, and then the second part 20, 15, 10, 5 shoulder overhead. That would have made way more sense.
Yeah. At what weight for the thrusters?
I don't even. It could be this. Well, if it was that same reps, I think it would need
like
to be
115 or 155. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that'd be sick. That'd be cool.
That would just make the movement actually matter, and I mean it'd be a different time cap and stuff, but just yeah.
It just feels so. Do you think they had like semifinals level athletes test this?
No.
Like I'm wondering if that like they just had like a bad tester, and so that's how they came on the 205 weight.
They probably had a guy that's been to regionals back in 2016 or something.
Who's still like really good at legless.
Who's still good at CrossFit, but not good enough. Yeah, I don't know.
This just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, I like this one, but again, Max, that's gonna hurt though. So is that that's kind of the like engine test, I guess.
Yeah, engine breathing test for sure.
All right, 3 rounds, 15 sandbag squats. Have they announced if that's going to be like on the side or?
I imagine it'll be on the shoulder because I think bear hug is just the standards get terrible and ugly. I imagine it's the shoulder. 30
unbroken handstand walk. Round 1, 15 ring muscle up, and then 30 chest bar and the 45 pull-ups on the third round. 30 foot unbroken handstand walk.
Yep. I tested this one too.
How did it go?
It's tough. It's a lot of. I think it comes down to the gymnastics. because he gets really grippy and just like pulling fatigue. Because you got to remember, you're going to already have done the legless and the rope climbs prior to in the weekend. And it's
That's
just going
a
to be.
lot of upper body pulling.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You're back to more upper body pulling after all the legless and the rope climbs. And, dude, and the grip
And
is
more
going to play.
squats.
The grip's going to play a huge factor because, your grip's smoked from all the toes to bar, step ups, this, and then you're hanging. And then, you're doing heavy sandbag squats, 45 of them. So that's 4 out of 5 events now that we're squatting. Like a lot of squatting.
That's good for you, though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
All right. If the next one's not like some hinging, way more hinging, and I don't even know what else is missing.
Yeah, I want to see you guess. That's funny. I want to see what you think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I would think, I don't know about deadlift.
Got to do any
Have
running?
we done anything with a dumbbell? I mean, I was thinking running, but they had the fat rope singles.
Yeah,
which,
but
I mean, I know it's not running, but like
running's
still
a big part of making it to the games, man.
I would go, if it were me. Have we done anything with dumbbell? We do
No.
box step
Well, yeah,
overs.
step overs.
I don't know. I would say something with let's see.
I mean, we hinged a lot in Isabel.
Yeah, but
not a lot, I guess, but demanding.
Compared to the squatting, let's see. Do we have a horizontal press? Horizontal pull. 2 on, 1 off. Do we have any like shorter?
You can go ahead.
I would say it's gonna be. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I feel like this is. That's good. I like that.
So it's only a one-time run. It's just a buy-in run. One time.
Oh.
And then you finish out a clean ladder, 4-3-2 dune. So it's a sprint. I feel like I need to test this. I actually did some intervals today. It was like 200-meter run, 2 power cleans every 2 minutes for 6 rounds. But I feel like I need to do this full thing where I like need to fill out.
What did you do the power cleans at today?
I did 245, 275, 295. Built up. But I need to just like feel what it feels like to attack that 550-meter run hard and then get under the barbell. So I feel like I need to probably test this out.
I think this is the best program event.
This one?
Yeah.
Why?
For a few reasons. One, I like the mix of like the run with the cleans. I also think that at these weights and this rep, they both kind of matter. So like you kind of have to run fast.
Right.
Like if it were any heavier, like if this ended at like 345 or something, you'd kind of have to go a little bit slower. But I think at 315, like guys are still like there's still gonna be some dudes like potentially even power cleaning like the first one, or maybe even both.
Do you think anyone can go touch and go on all the bars?
I don't know who's gonna be there.
Nick Matthew?
No.
Don't think. He's a strong guy.
I think probably like Guy could.
Yeah, I think he'd probably be too smoked from the run.
I think Adler could, but I don't think he would have any reason to because he'd smoke everybody anyway.
I think you'd probably be, if you like touch and go 225 and then 275, you'd probably be way too smoked. I need to test this tomorrow just to see what my legs feel like running hard on that run.
So what do you think about that? Do you think that's a good program, like the way they kind of both matter?
I think the test I think it is a good test. It's like a sprinty, like power output test because you're going to have to run hard and stay within like a relative distance of the people at the top or anybody if you obviously want to do good workout. But like the execution at the bars is like super important because if you fail a rep, it's going to be not good.
Yeah. I just like workouts that start with a run, and then the thing that comes after the run is something that's super like that makes the run important as well.
Yeah.
Where you kind of have to like push the run. Like, do you remember the shuttle to overhead from 2022?
Yeah.
Have you ever done any version of that?
I can't remember if I have or not.
Well, that one's cool because it's like the amount of time you have, you basically have to like full send all of the runs.
Right.
And it just like hurts so bad. So I like that, and I think it makes this an interesting one.
I do think it's gonna be tough, but one more time, potential squatting again. I mean, it's only a few reps, but
Yeah.
that leaves potential of like
It's just still
squatting.
leg heavy, even if you don't have to squat it.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm like, how much legs is this competition? It's a lot. A lot of leg, a lot of upper body gymnastic pulling grip.
Is there anything that you would say is like missing?
I think like in terms of movement patterns and stuff, I don't think there's anything missing. I think you could argue that there's not a lot of like hinging fatigue.
Yeah.
But I think there's enough pulling since there's.
But both the pullings are kind of like an explosive.
Yeah.
Like they don't really have like a lower, like a powerlifting pull. I don't know how to describe that. You know what I mean?
Like light, like muscular endurance testing. Like.
Yeah, or even just like slower speed of contraction. Like these are all like explosive pull.
I mean, you're not gonna fit every single little subcategory in.
No, but
so.
But you can have squatting 5 times.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the more I've looked at them, I'm like okay with more of them. I still don't love the first workout. It's just like it looks like they just like threw the workouts on the board and just like a ton of reps.
This one looks like wasn't there a chipper?
It's not fun to watch either. It's gonna be so boring to watch.
This one's gonna be boring to watch. This one will be good to watch after seeing it so many times. This one will be. I think the second part will be good to watch. I don't think the first part will be good to watch.
What percentage of the field do you think gets capped on part 1?
So 6 legless. I think the bottom 20% of the field.
I think more than that.
Because I think it's going to be 14-foot ropes.
That's true.
And I think you can do 6 legless in a minute and a half pretty comfortably on a 14-foot rope.
You're crazy,
and then, you don't think?
Dude, I mean, 14-foot even. I mean, testing on 15-foot, the first time I did it in 2.5 minutes. And then just by itself, as I kept practicing the next few days, the fastest I got was in 1:57. Like, that was as fast as I could go.
Okay, till 2 minutes on that. Then you got a minute for the second one.
Yeah, and then you go to the shoulder overhead. That's 2.5, 240. Then you got to do 3 more legless, which takes, a minute? So you got 340. Yeah, I mean, it's doable, I think, but dude, you're going to be pretty wrecked on the 3 legless.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like when I watch people rope climb in competition, it always looks so like people look so much better at rope climbs than I think they are.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I always underestimate how good people are at legless.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because I'm not good at them personally, but then I watch people in comps and I'm like, how the frick are they so good at legless? Like, do you remember
I can't think of another movement where is so like special. I just feel like legless, there's so many people who are like such specialists at it that they separate themselves from so many people more than any other movement I can think of.
You know why?
Do I know why?
Yeah.
Enlighten me.
I think it's just because, well, 2 reasons. 1, it's like a stricter movement, and 2, it has an unbroken requirement.
Okay.
Like you can't do 1 pull and then come down. You have to do, whatever, 4 or 5 pulls, 6, 7 pulls. So I think it's like imagine if you were doing, say, like this, and the 15 sandbag squats had to be on, or that's not a good one. Like if you were doing this one, the first one, and the 50 step ups had to be unbroken.
Do you imagine?
Like you'd see some people like really just like separate themselves there. So I think that's kind of what happens with the legless is like you just push yourself to that like limit that you don't normally do with other movements because you can just break them when you want.
But I mean, everybody practices legless or does legless in unbroken requirements, so it's not like people aren't getting the touches.
Yeah, that's true.
So some people are yeah. I think a lot of it is technique. I mean, I don't know.
How do you do it? Do you scissor kick,
I try.
or are you like a? Have you seen Guy do his like butterfly?
Yeah, I have. And he gets
Dude,
up there and
sick.
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
He'll like fall through. It's cool. All right. I actually like the programming overall, except for this workout. I feel like it's just like kind of stupid.
Just kind of splattered at the. Yeah, the workouts are whatever. I'm gonna go and just throw down, do what I can.
That's cool. How do you think you'll do? Is there any way I can find the leaderboard? Like the whole who's going?
I imagine it'll be like on Comp Corner.
That's not up yet.
Nah, yeah, I don't know if it is yet.
How do you think you'll do?
We'll see, man. I don't know who's even going to be there competing. I mean, I do know a couple, I think, but
how many people are getting a games spot from it?
2. It's tight.
That'll be fun. Cool. You gonna win? You gonna win Isabel?
Not if Nick Matthews there. No, I think he's.
What did he get in Isabel?
Sub 4.
Oof, that's fast.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's do rapid fire questions. Purposely rounding your back while lifting, yes or no?
Yes.
Can you be fat and still be healthy?
No.
All right, that's all I had, actually.
2 questions.
I thought I had 4 more. All right, let's start with the rounding your back while you're lifting. The other day, or last week, I was building flower beds for this dude.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they had, like, these 80-pound, like, bricks that I built them out of. And it was probably, like, I don't know, 500 bricks. And I probably moved all of them, like, 3 or 4 times. And every time I moved one, I don't know why I did this. I just decided to do it. I would like purposely just pick them up like this, like every time. My back was wrecked. Like the whole 3 days I was building these flower beds. And then like 2 days later, bro, my back had never felt better. Like I could like turn all the way around like this with no problem. And I was like bending over to pick stuff up. It just felt like so good. Do you think that like when we learn lifting, obviously we learn like neutral spine.
Yeah.
Do you think that we like kind of obviously you need to do that like when it's super, super heavy because you don't want to like freaking mess yourself up by letting them slip like that. But do you think by like constantly drilling that and not working on like that rounded position, we're kind of like just making ourselves super stiff?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think it should be done as much as a neutral spine necessarily, like evenly, but I do think it's valuable to have it done. Valuable to do it on a regular basis. It doesn't even need to be done under like much load. Obviously,
heavy load. Yeah,
it shouldn't be under the same load, but I do think like exposure to it. Yeah, more movement of the spine. Just the spine gets treated as something that's supposed to be like immovable, where we're supposed to rotate it. That's the big thing. People don't rotate their spines, right? People are like scared of twisting, obviously bending.
Yeah.
People need to do all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I think you definitely need to work that in. I think, yes, especially like top level, like people who try to compete in CrossFit or avid CrossFitters definitely are very stiff because we're so used to just ripping bars and we're trying to go neutral spine.
I feel like I got to a point where I couldn't bend over if it wasn't like this. Like I could not, like I couldn't round at all.
Well, remember when we were in the gym a bit ago and we were like doing that? We were like doing some Jefferson curls and then like we were doing those like somersaults and we couldn't even like get flexion in our spine because we were just like smacking the ground. Yeah. And it's like we were talking about,
It's
like,
like
to be
I can bend right here, but then like the
yeah,
middle
that
and like upper
thoracic.
part of my back just like won't bend.
Yeah. We're just like, we can't even be athletic and like roll out because like our spines are so freaking stiff, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's one thing I've been working on. Also, I think the big thing is if you start with a neutral spine and
Ooh,
then round as you're lifting, that's
yeah,
like worse. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah,
Whereas
so you gotta lock in from,
if you start rounded and then straighten, it's not as
well,
bad.
yeah, wherever you create your tension at, right? It's like if you create your brace and your tension with that, and I know, like, I mean, ideally it's not like under loads, like that lumbar portion is not as ideal, but especially like that mid upper back thoracic, like you see like power lifter, like professional power lifters, they purposely round that like
Round.
mid upper part of their back because that gets them closer to the bar. Like
And also, it turns it more into like a leg press rather than like a hinge.
yeah, it's just way better
Because you kind of
leverage
like
to get the
squat.
bar off the
Yeah.
ground. That leverage is longer.
Yeah. All right. The other one, can you be fat and still be healthy? So like I want to give the example of like Hiller. He always talks about Sporty Beth.
Right.
And he's always like, "Oh, you're not healthy. You're not healthy. I can look at you and know you're not healthy."
Right.
But what do you think about that?
I just feel like what he's saying.
Let me give you an example.
Okay.
When I met you like 2 years ago, I was 215 pounds.
Really?
Right now, I weigh 190, and I don't think I've lost any muscle. I think that was all fat.
Okay.
But
you
at the
weren't
time, I could
fat.
still.
I mean, what are we saying is fat, right? I mean, we'd have to. You weren't fat.
I mean, at that point, I had like definitely over like 20, probably like. I mean, right now I'm like 20% body fat. So back then I was probably like 24, 25 more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's where we draw the line of like fat, but I still think
What's fat?
Not fat. I don't know where would we want to draw the line. I think
because like I think I would still consider myself healthy back then. Like I could run, like probably a 22-minute 5K at the time. I mean, I could still, like, I was still decently fit.
Yeah, I mean, body fat percentage wise, I do think I would start considering fat. Like, I think men would start up in I think it's like mid to upper 20%.
Okay.
I think. I don't know.
So do you think there's like a level of fat you can be while still being healthy? But then once you get to a certain amount of fat, then there's like no way that you could be healthy while being that fat.
Yeah, I mean, when you said fat, like I'm thinking like people who are like obese.
Yeah.
Right. So obviously.
But do you think you can be obese and still be healthy?
I think no. Especially not like long. I think of like when you say healthy, like you're not just being healthy for just this short term. Like you hear like obese people be like, "Oh, my blood work's fine" or whatever. Sorry, I just got super distracted. It's like someone next to me pulling out. It's weird.
One of those tennis moms.
Nah. Dang, I lost my train of thought though. Oh, like obese people be like, "Oh, my blood works perfectly fine. Like I'm healthy." But it's like it's fine in that given moment. But like if you stay the exact same body composition where you're at, you actually think that those like blood tests and things you got are gonna stay that same throughout the 5 years? Like I highly doubt it. It's like they may be fine in that given moment, but like if you sustain that type of body composition and what you have, like I guarantee you over like a period of time, it's not gonna portray you as healthy. There's no way. Like at some point, there's stuff that's gonna dip and stuff that's gonna take a hit because of you're carrying around that excess body fat. You may show adequate healthy numbers,
but do you think it's the fat that does that, or do you think? I mean, obviously, it wouldn't be the fat. It would be like what you're doing.
It's a correlation of. I think it's a correlation of a lot of things. I don't think I'm necessarily educated enough to know. No, if it's like are you saying like it's specifically like the fat adipose tissue in the body that's doing that?
Well, what I'm saying is like I think there's a level of fat you can get while still being healthy, but I also think there's a level of fat you can't get without certain like unhealthy lifestyle factors.
Yeah, I'd agree.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I was 215, but like I was just 215 from like drinking too much milk. Like I drank like 2 gallons of whole milk a day at the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I don't think I could have got much fatter unless I started eating like too much sugar.
So
like,
do you think, let's say if you stayed at that, like same habitual decisions and like you stayed at that 215 for 5 years, do you think you would have just been like healthy for 5 years? Those 5 years?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
You don't think you would have had like complications of like
No.
like severe complications, but you don't think?
I think there's a level of fat where you could be there your whole life and still be like perfectly fine.
Yeah, I agree. But it's like there's definitely probably a pretty distinctive line.
And I think most of that is how fat you can get while like at the time I was still eating what I would consider to be healthy. I was just eating like a freaking ton.
Yeah.
And like,
but once again, I wouldn't consider that fat. You fat.
no, well, I was kind of fat.
15 pounds over the weight you are now. I mean, come on.
I was like 20, 25.
Yeah,
But again, like I said, I could like I was still I would consider myself like I was eating healthy, and like I don't think I could have got much fatter than that with the lifestyle I was living.
Yeah.
Like to get fatter than that, I would have had to eat like things that are genuinely unhealthy.
Yeah. So do you think you can be fat and healthy? Just depending where you draw the line, I guess, is what you're kind of answering.
Yeah. I think the level of fat you can be while still being healthy, personally for me, I think is higher than what most people would say you can be.
Yeah.
Because like I said, at the time, like
how
I
are we
still had a
defining how are we defining health though? Like would it just be like your blood numbers, like your HG1C, and like your LDL and all that?
I don't know, how do you define healthy?
It's a good question. So I just thought of it.
I don't know how I would define healthy. Work capacity across broad time and all domains throughout life.
Fitness equals health. I mean, it's a lot of carryover though, right? I mean, they're highly correlated. Yeah. Fitness and health. I mean, what's the fitness wellness continuum? I mean, it's like.
So what is on the other side? When you're more fit, you're not well?
Right.
Why?
Because you beat your body down so much that it's more. I
am definitely on that side.
Oh,
I'm like so sore all the time. I can't walk.
Yeah. Well, dude, it's like when it's winter, like you are so much more susceptible to like viruses and stuff because your just lungs are just absolutely battered and just freaking. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Yep.
Like, dude, I try to walk down the stairs. So, like, I messed up my ankle from rugby, and then like I had the thing with my knee. So I basically haven't squatted in like forever. I did a workout with 55 front squats at 135 last Friday because I'm trying to get back into it.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I tried to walk down the stairs the next day, and my legs felt like they were about to fall off.
Nice.
So I would not consider that well. So is that's the end?
I mean, I don't know if you're at the very end, but you're past the.
I passed the wellness part with that workout.
Yeah, you passed the median point or whatever middle.
Have I ever told you about when I got COVID?
No, I'll tell you about mine after you tell me yours. I had a crazy experience with COVID.
So I got sick, and I had it was just like cold, like just like a cold, not too bad. And then one day I started feeling better. I'm like, oh, all right, I feel good. I'm about to go work out. And so I programmed 400-meter run, 20, 15, 10, 5, front squats at 185, but the front squats had to be unbroken. Did that workout. It was like 50 degrees outside. I did it out my driveway. I could not get out of bed for 4 days after that. Like I felt fine, did the workout, right after, laid on the couch, couldn't get up for 4 days, bro.
That was that.
That was that. I think I just like pushed myself so hard and I was like already sick that it just ruined everything.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't taste for 2 months. So I just
Dang,
put Tabasco on everything just to feel something.
I never had any symptoms like that, like taste or smell. But I was
Yogurt still doesn't taste the same to me.
really.
Yeah, I don't know why, bro.
Dude, I eat yogurt every day.
Yogurt has like a metallic smell to me now.
I love yogurt. So good.
All right, what happened with yours?
All right, so mine, similar. I feel like I probably felt it earlier than you because, yeah, I was like feeling a little cold come on. I was like, whatever. And I was like, I'm just going to work through it, type of deal. Like, just going to sweat it out. And I was working out and just felt terrible. Like, was just trudging through mud. I remember I had to work out with squat cleans at 155. It wasn't even like a ton. It was 155. And, dude, that thing felt like 225, 245. Like, I was getting buried in the hole by it. I was like, what is happening? Granted, this was years ago. I wasn't as strong as I am now, but still.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, what is happening? I just felt terrible. I think I ended up shutting it down. I don't even remember. And I was like, dude, I just feel terrible. Went on the rest of the day. I ended up like going to work. Just felt terrible. Once I got home from work, I just was like, dude, something is wrong with me. And just freaking basically like you, just laid down on the couch and then just like couldn't move and get up. My body just was like aching, shutting down. So time period wise, this was like September. I just started the semester. This was one of like my hardest semesters. I was like just finishing up my last classes like I needed to like get into PT school basically. It was like I had to like finish up my physics and chemistry classes, and that was like the rest of what I needed to like apply to PT school. And this was like at the beginning of the week, and then I'm just in on my couch, can't move. Kiana's pregnant with our son. We haven't had kids yet, and she's just taking care of me because I can't do anything. And I think I can't even remember if I knew at the time. I was like, I probably have COVID. Like obviously, I feel terrible. Then I was in bed for three days straight. Yeah, just like couldn't move. Just felt brutal. Was missing classes and missing school. Just getting so behind. Like college, you start missing. Like, dude, you're effed. Sucks.
Yep.
It
Dang,
was.
bro.
It was.
Same
Friday
thing.
came, huh?
Same thing.
Yeah. So
that workout buried you.
Friday came, and I was like, dude, I have to go to school today because I have a physics quiz. Like, you have a quiz every week, and like you can't miss the quizzes. Like, you can't get behind. And so I was like, tomorrow morning, I got to get up and go. And I woke up, nothing had changed. I felt horrible. I like tried to get myself up and like into the kitchen. I was like, dude, if I try to like walk on campus, like I'll fall over and die. Like I felt like that. I was like, dude, there's no way I can move. And I decided right then and there, I said, I have to drop the semester. I have to drop out all my classes. I ended up dropping all my classes for the whole semester. I dropped out of school. And that was actually like the turning point for me, like changing my career, because I ended up not deciding to go to PT, doing all. But guess this, that day, I think it was like the 4th day after, I went to Instacare because I felt so terrible. I had pneumonia in both my lungs with COVID.
Oh my gosh, bro.
So I had pneumonia in both lungs and COVID. It was brutal.
That sucks. Who did you have? Dude, we might have had the same physics class.
No, you weren't there.
Fall.
You didn't take physics in Weaver?
Yeah, I did, bro.
Oh, wait, yeah, you graduated. You took physics?
Yeah.
Nah, I think you graduated
fall 2020.
before.
Who was your coach? Or I mean
No, I was taking physics in it wasn't 2020. It was it might have been fall 2020 or 2021. It was some guy, I don't even remember his name. Weirdo.
Was he old and had like long hair?
No.
Oh.
He was kind of just like a middle-aged dweeb. Like super dad bod. Physics was hard, dude.
Physics was rough, dude. Oh no, I took it spring 2020. I remember because
like shut down though.
Yeah, everything had like shut down, so we had to like. He was like not ready to go online, bro. It sucked.
Dang. Dude, I have to before we hop off. Starting next week, we're doing this thing at Wasatch. It's gonna be like part of our next like programming block, but we're doing something you see in all gyms, not all gyms, but a lot of gyms where they have benchmark workouts up on the wall, and you can like try to, just like the classic like OG.
Are you writing your own benchmarks or?
So yeah, I did. So we're doing 12 benchmarks. I did. I picked 3 like girl workouts. I picked 3 hero workouts. I picked 3 single modality workouts, and then I wrote up three just like CrossFit workouts.
Nice.
So I'll run through them real quick. I did single modality tests. I did just 2K row. I wanted to start with a 1K. No, stop.
What's your fastest 2K?
Mine, like 640 something.
Okay.
I wanted to start. I did a 1K at first, and then because like I think a 1K is like cooler.
1K is way worse. Way worse.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. But like with the other tests I have, I was like, I gotta go something a little longer.
Need something longer.
Yeah, I was like, I have to do a 2K because I want people that are a little more endurance based to have a shot at something like that too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like, nah, I gotta go 2K, even though it's kind of played out. Like 2K is oldish, but so 2K row. Then I was originally gonna do the other CrossFit total back.
Is that clean?
Clean overhead squat bench. And all I did was change the overhead squat because I already have a bunch of snatching, and I just made it back squat. So I just called it the Wasatch total. So it's clean, back squat, and bench. And I would get more buy-in with people because people just suck at moving.
Don't
like
want to overhead
squats.
squat.
Yeah. So that's gonna be cool. Wasatch total. And then gymnastics, I did 30 bar muscle ups for time.
Interesting.
I would have done 30 ring, but there's not that many people that can do rings.
Yeah.
I just wanted them basic.
That's cool.
Modality, like basic.
What girl workouts did you pick?
Yeah, so girl workouts, I did Nancy. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Nancy. I did Ingrid, one of the newer ones.
Oh, I actually never done Ingrid. I've done Gretel.
Yeah, so 10 rounds. Yeah. So
Ingrid is snatch, right? 3 snatch, 3 bar facing burpee.
Originally, I had Gretel, and I changed it to Ingrid. And then, what was the other one? I did this one because like 2 of the coaches suggested they wanted Diane. It's 2059.
Oh, I don't like Diane.
I don't love it either. Yeah, I don't love it either. But I just took. They wanted it, so I was like, that's fine. And then hero workouts, I did DT. Love DT.
Love DT. That's like the best workout ever programmed.
Yeah, just like barbell cycling, it's so good. So DT. I gotta look at my phone now. Oh, okay. DT Nate.
Oh, interesting.
Nate. So 20-minute AMRAP. Get some ring muscle ups in there.
Is it two ring muscle ups, 4
handstand push
dumbbell
up
snatch? Oh, 4 dumbbell 8.
4 handstand push up and
4 handstand push up, 8 dumbbell snatch.
8 kettlebell swing.
Or kettlebell swing.
Yeah, and then I did Kalsu.
Snatch. Oh, Kalsu, dude.
Yeah.
I've been avoiding that. I've never done it.
That workout's terrible. I did it. I can't remember what I got, but. And then my own workouts, I did. One of them's to pay like homage to the 2017 champs, the games team. The title of the workouts is Rich's Ruined Reputation. I didn't come up with it. Carson came up with it, so I can't take credit. But I texted Adrian and asked him about like memorable workouts, and he said they did this rowing and worm workout that once they won it, they knew they had the game. They won it. Like they could it was one of the, and it was 40 cal row, 30 sandbags 30 worm squats, 3 rounds. So the workout's just 40 cal row, 3 rounds, 40 cal row, 30 front squats at 135, 95.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like.
That's actually fire. I like that one.
It's 40, 30 cal, 30 cal for the girls, and then and then I did Wasatch Ain't for the Week. Was the next workout. It's 10 down to 1 of deadlifts at 315 and strict pull-ups. I like that variation. I think people like testing strength. Always just think you have to test it. Just like a barbell heavy. But dude, strict 55 strict pull-ups.
That's a lot.
You have to be strong. So 10 down to 1, 315 deadlifts. And then I like that one personally.
That's sick.
And then I just did the last one's not that cool. I had a couple people, but I just did Wasatch Fight Gone Bad. So it's just like Fight Gone Bad with different movements.
Oh, that's cool.
But I think I did like total bar, dumbbell snatch,
at 50?
Yeah, cleans 135, and what's the other movement? Oh, bite calories. Echo bite calories, and then goblet reverse lunge with the dumbbell. So
that's good.
That's it'll be fun. It's gonna be fun to start doing. I'm excited. I gotta go.
All right. Later, bro.
Talk to you later.
Good luck this weekend. Actually, we'll stream Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah, I can. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Later, bro.